I'm passionate about getting solution to their problem, and that is why I am shooting this video right now. Now, if you have a good look at this fish, you discover that the part of his body is totally open. You know, it's open from one side. It's also open from this side. I hope you can see that clearly. Now, but I'm going to put him in a solution of water containing sodium chloride. Sodium chloride actually is table salt. The normal table salt you have at home, what you use in cooking, that's what they call sodium chloride, and that's what I use in treating my fish. That's a catfish natural means of treatment. Now he's still very strong, irrespective of the open belly. If you look at him, it's open, you know. Now that part that you see open is actually the part that was affected by the bacteria. In other words, it's like the cutting parts that the bacteria, you know, acted on, and then the fish now started you know, developing that kind of injury along that part. So I discovered this when the blood stain has already gone around its abdomen, and I have to quickly bring him out. I quarantined him, and then I started giving him a treatment, which is basically sodium chloride, which is normal table salt, and then I also have to provide some bitter leaf alongside with it. So he has been quarantined for the past 2 days right now, and he's still having this kind of symptoms, but the symptom grew just this morning. Part of his abdomen started falling off. He's still very much alive. You can see him breathe. He's breathing profusely. He's still very much alive and very much strong. Now, I am still actually looking for a perfect formula to treating this kind of catfish disease. The truth about this fish disease is that 90% of fish, if not 100% of them that fall sick like this, when not easily detected on time, end up dying. That's just the gospel truth. So saving them may be practically difficult. Now, but that notwithstanding, when you look at catfish diseases are comprised of either bacterial infection, it can be fungal infection, it can be parasitic infections, and then maybe other infections that are neither bacteria, fungal, or parasites, as the case may be. And it may interest you to hear that bacteria contribute to 60% of catfish diseases. Yes, catfish diseases, you can browse on it or Google it and all that, you will see that 60% of catfish diseases comes from bacteria, while 30% comes from parasites. You know, a parasite comes and lives in an organism, feeds on the organism, gains shelter from the organism, and harm the organisms at the end of the day. For example, malaria, plasmodium, you know, your pond may be attracting malaria or mosquitoes and all that. Before you know it, your fish start having problems. So those are parasitic infection. 30% are from parasites. Then fungal infection contributes to 9% of bacterial infection, and that is already 99% taken by bacteria, fungi, and parasites. Now 1% is caused by other diseases that are neither bacteria, neither fungi, or parasites. And so when you have a good knowledge of this, you will find it easy to, you know, detect which one is which. Now, you may find it quite difficult to predict that this particular kind of disease is a bacterial infection, or this one is fungal infection, or this one is a parasitic infection. But from research, you will discover that bacterial infections usually end up giving you some symptoms, like the fish is having difficulty in swimming, the belly is protruded, you know, and then the fish will start having that kind of problem, and then before you know it, he's dead. But for now, I've not really noticed cases of fungal, because fungal infections are very, very rare. Very, very rare. You may not easily find it. Now, but I'm so much interested in providing solution to this catfish treatment. Now, what I'm going to do from here is that I'm going to quarantine him again. I'm so sorry for his abdomen. If you look at it, it's almost totally falling off. But he's still very strong and smart. Trust me. As you look at what happens, you can see the speed at which he may react to what I'm doing right now. Okay, he's not moving that much, but I know he's still very much strong, and irrespective of what is happening to him, he may survive this treatment. So He's currently on sodium chloride. I'm going to drop him in a bucket with water free from any salt. This is already close to an hour. I usually keep them from 1 hour. Then after the 1 hour, I will now come and remove the solution and then put him in normal water. The normal water I'm going to put him in is where he's going to be for the next 24 hours, and then I will administer another treatment to him as far as this aspect of his disease is concerned. You can imagine how his fleshy part is falling off. Now the reason is simply because that was the aspect that was affected by the bacteria in terms of blood. If you check, the blood was circular. I didn't take that picture on time, so you may not have seen that, but it's circular form. This sodium chloride actually is working. How did I know? Because when I detected this sickness, he was very, very weak, and when I dropped him in a mixture of sodium chloride, that is table salt, his health increased in terms of vigor and strength, and he has been able to survive for 2 good days as we speak. Now you may wonder, what quantity of table salt should you administer? Now for every 5 liters of water, you are expected to administer 4.2 grams of salt. 4.2 grams we are talking about is just a teaspoon. Every teaspoon should at least contain 4 grams of salt. So when you pick a teaspoon, dilute it in water. Haven't done your dilution, the next thing you do is pour it in a 5 liters of water and make sure the solid particles dissolve very well, and then insert the fish inside. The fish will regain itself after a period of time until you are satisfied that this fish has gotten the best he needs. Then you can remove him from his isolated pond and take him to the major pond where he can have fun with his peers. I bet you, if I drop this fish among his peers, they will definitely eat on his flesh. This part of his flesh that is falling off right now, they will attack him, eat on it, and then have good fun with it. So it's good you keep him separate and see how far this treatment is going to take him. So I'm going to update you as time goes on. Thank you for your time, and then let's see what happens in the next 24 hours. Now let me take him out of here and keep him in a solution free from this salt water. Now this bucket is free from salt water. Alright, so this is natural water and it's very clean. No salt content is inside. So he's going to be here. I'm going to get some bitter leaves and drop on the surface for him. He's going to be here for the next 24 hours, and then I will shoot the next video. Let me get some bitter leaf for him. Alright, I'm at my farm right now. There are some bitter leaves around my compound. So all I need is just a few. I don't really need much because it's just one fish I am attending to. Then alright, that's okay. Now I may just need to try and match it a little. I didn't bother to put it in water, okay? But if it is too dirty, you can do some little washing before you put it in the pond for treatment. But I didn't bother because the leaves were clean and it rained this morning, so any form of dust particles that would have been on the leaves would have been washed away by the rain. Alright, so I'm going to drop this in the water. They are medicinal. Bacteria can be very much removed by bitter leaf. Bitter leaf has very powerful treating, or let me say healing ability. I have a separate video on that. You can check the list of my videos and you will see my treatment with bacteria. Alright, see you in the next 24 hours.